Hey, what's going on, Agents for Life? Welcome to podcast number 269. As the host of Agents for Life podcast, I am happy and pleased to welcome you here. I'm glad you're here. And we're going to get into some things. I hope this podcast as a whole is helping you. There's a lot of great material, and I hope to continue to provide that for you. So thanks for listening and making your craft as a life insurance agent just a little better than it was yesterday. Here's my mic drop thought for the week. Take comfort in knowing that the answers exist. Your shot at thriving in this business is at the highest levels exists. So your shot at thriving at the highest levels exists. You may not have all the answers. And this is where it's hard when you start out. We all want to know how. We're all taught at a very young age how to do things. And when we get older, we want to know how. But you know what? The how isn't nearly as important as the why. The answers are already there. Think about that for a second. How do you know the answers are there? Because every single situation, your life, who you are, your challenges, your trials, someone else has come in with the same thing and conquered and won. So the answers are there. It's possible. Take comfort in that you're not the only one trying to figure this out. And all you have to do is find the answers that are already there and not quit, right? Not quit. We all want to quit, right? Raise my hand the highest. Okay. If you're there, welcome. You're in good company, et cetera, et cetera. This is not um, a quick, easy, get rich quick kind of a deal. But take comfort in knowing that the answers are already there. So I just like that. I don't know why. Maybe you're like, you're weird, and I am. You'd be right, but there's some odd comfort in just knowing moving forward. The answers are there, and it's going to work itself out. So I love that. I'm a mindset guy. You all know this about me, so don't be surprised that that's what I'm talking about here. But let's get on to. I want to give you just a quick from the field, more of a recommendation. I've moved away recently from less ethos leads and a little bit more back into my roots, which are mortgage protection. And I'm getting they're gold mortgage protection mailers. They're $9 right around there. And having some pretty good, really good numbers with those. So I'm going to encourage you if you can, even a smaller batch. I bought a batch the other day of 27 and I just it was been very happy with dialing and the number of people picking up and scheduling and so forth. So I'm not going to give you specifics, but I'm going to encourage you if you're working those $1.50 leads or $2 leads, they are tougher and you are going to make a lot of calls. So if you're not getting the results, graduate your way up. Only stay on those a week or two, but get up to those $5 to $10 range. It's a much better sweet spot until you can ultimately afford the brand new A leads. Those are the best. Those are people coming right out of the gate ready to go. But anyways, just some food for thought. I was really happy with the mortgage protection leads, and I wanted to pass that nugget along to you. But let's talk about the training for today. And this is what I call the third contract. And I'll tell you why. When we first get started on our journey, we have a couple of key contracts. We have number one, a contract with Equus that says we're going to be good law-abiding agents. We're going to not steal the leads and go write them with other carriers. We're not going to do unethical things. We're going to represent Equus with pride and dignity and integrity and honesty and all the things, right? Because Equus puts their name out there on us as agents. We represent Equus. So yes, we have a contract with Equus and we're going to be good agents out in the field. That's contract number one. The second contract is the contracting with the carriers. It's a whole bunch of little contracts. What that means is we're not going to misrepresent when we're selling a carrier product. Okay, so we're talking about an insurance product. We're talking about Mutual of Omaha's term product. Well, we have to know what we're talking about. That's why if you're new, you're going to plug into a senior underwriter to help you on your appointments. Okay, so we need to not misrepresent and not make claims that aren't true about the products that we sell. You're representing Foresters, you're representing GPM, Mutual of Omaha, Ameritas, on and on. All these carriers, you have to understand the ins and outs of the policies that you're writing. That'll come with time. You're going to lean on your team as you get started to do that, okay? So don't freak out, but we do have a contract with the carrier to do the right thing in the way that we talk about it. So those are the first two contracts. Those are easy and obvious. But I'm going to suggest a third contract that's maybe not so obvious. This is the contract with the consumer, with your customer, with your prospect. When you purchase a lead, it comes off of the system and it comes onto your desk. Okay. That person needs something that you have. And it's your job to reach out to them and get that to them. And the first time that you call somebody too late and you have that wake up call, that's when you realize how serious that job is. So when you buy a lead, I kind of consider it a contract in a way. And this might help you with dialing or whatever struggles you might be having, because people want and need what we have. Yes, they put up crusty shells. Yes, they legitimately deal with spammers all day long. And yes, we sometimes blend in, and it's hard to stand out and let them know, hey, we're not in that camp. That is not who we are. We're here to help you and protect your family on one of the most important documents you'll ever own. Okay. But we do get mixed in, right? And so, granted, the consumer is bombarded, and yes, we're one of. Okay. But when we buy that lead, when we purchase and invest in a lead that comes out of the system and into your hands on your desk, and you're not following up, you're not reaching out, you're not upholding your side of the contract. Now, think about this. You have a license to write a policy that could very well be the most important document they ever own, if not one of, for sure, most important documents they'll ever own. It's the document that protects their family. It's the most generous. It's the last gift someone will ever give their spouse. $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, $1 million, whatever it is, so that they can survive for a little period of time and get back on their feet. Guys, how important is it what we do? Okay, think about that. How important it is what we do. So when you get a lead, that came off the system and it's in your hands, it's on your desk. In my mind, you made a contract, an unsigned, unfinished, it's not going to hold up in court, okay? But think about it. It's an agreement, right? A contract is an agreement. A person wants somebody to call them, and you accepted, by virtue of getting that lead, you accepted the assignment to be that agent, to reach out. And I want to encourage you to take that job, take that role, take your side of the contract seriously. Take it seriously. When you're calling and you're nervous, you probably are too inward focused. You're probably being a little too selfish. What's in it for me? A commission. I need to get paid. I need to make a living. I need to pay my bills. There's certainly nothing wrong with that. But that's what creates the nerves. It's because I got to perform, right? It's commission only. I've got to perform. I've got to make a sale. So we get jittery, we get nervous, our palms get clammy, and we start. Well, guess what? If you can take the focus off of yourself, take yourself out of the spotlight, what about the person that filled out that form? What do they have in place? What's going to happen to that family? Those are real people. They're not just names on a piece of paper. They're real people who had lives, who had a childhood, who grew up, had experiences, has memories. They have strengths and weaknesses and talents, and they got A's and B's in school, and they got a couple of F's, and they got in a fight in third grade on the playground, and they lived life, and now they're 50 years old, and they have a mortgage and a family, and they're real busy. And doggone it, who's going to reach out and get them some coverage because tomorrow morning something happens? Dad doesn't wake up, and all of a sudden life changed just like that for the rest of the family. And what if you were the agent that had that lead, but you were too nervous because you were focused on yourself and you're worried about your commission, and so you're too nervous to make that phone call to ask them if you can get them that coverage and serve them with one of the most important documents that they will ever own in their lives, a life insurance policy. So when you make that agreement with that third contract, now follow me on my line of logic here, that third contract with the consumer, with your client, your future client, I like to call them, right? Be optimistic. Why not? These are my future clients right here, a little stack of leads, my future clients. Some of them are going to appreciate it. Some of them aren't. That doesn't matter. They can break their end of the contract. They can sign a form, fill it out, request information, and tell me to go pound sand. That's their right. I'm going to honor my side of the contract by doing what? By calling that person, by being diligent and following up. Until they tell me no, I'm going to do my part because I know how important this is. Because I've seen too many cases of people that didn't get proper coverage and their lives were devastated. Guys, take the spotlight off of yourself and put it on the person that you agreed to help when you purchased that lead, and see how things change. Your heart will change. They'll feel a difference in your voice. And you will probably feel a little less nervous when you're reaching out because you're reaching out from a position of serving others and not from a position of, I need to line my pockets and pay my bills this month. We are truly in the service industry. This is a relationship business. People are everywhere that waiting to be served and loved, and they just need good people like you and I to hold up our side of the contract and go out and love and serve them. So chew on that thought for a little bit, and I'll give you more next week. Thank you. Take care.